Welcome everyone to another exclusive World Expo 88 video premiere from the amazing collection of Mr. Don Neal. I'm Jason Ford, and in today's video you will be thoroughly entertained by a wonderful performance by Expo 88 Walkways performer Lee Ross. But as a very special bonus, I'm joined online by the multi-talented man himself. G'day Lee, how you going?
Hey, great to be here. Thank you, Jason, for having me. Back then in 1985, 86, Japan was opening up, so a whole bunch of entertainers got to go over to Japan, who ended up at Expo, some of them. And the World's Fair that really got everything going for street performing was in Vancouver 2 years before Brisbane. So I performed at Expo 86 on a 1 or 2 months, I think. And it was such an this was in the days of my old show, which was completely silent because I was primarily a mime who juggled. And so Expo 86 opened my eyes to many other international performers. And I would perform back then in front of the Australian Pavilion in Vancouver. And I'd go there regularly. There was a beautiful fast sailing ship in front of the building, and that would be where I did my show. And one day a woman who worked inside came over to me and just said, in 2 years we're going to have, and then we're having the next World's Fair. Here's the card. You should get in touch with them because they're starting to hire now, basically. And so I was able to get in touch and with good video get offered a contract. And at the time
show, you can see there's a lot of street performance genres of the time in there. How would you describe your street performance, the style or the genre?
Yeah, back then it was a visual movement-based show that incorporated juggling and other skills and only had a certain amount of verbal interaction, even though I was also a stand-up comic and doing stand-up at that time. It wasn't something that really worked well on the street. On the stage,
the video that we'll be showing later it's a 30-minute performance. There was a little bit more video that was edited out where you had to actually rally the audience around you and close off the walkway. There were thousands of people trying to walk through. So it took a lot of skill and patience and tolerance on your part. But also people will notice at the end of this 30-minute video, you are joined by a fellow performer called Roger G. Now, some people might remember him as the roller skating moonwalker in the Michael Jackson video Bad from 1987. That scene always stands out to me of him on the roller skates.
One day, the Walkways department got a phone call, and they said, there are 5,000 or 6,000 people down here at the river stage, and it's 12 noon, and John Farnham isn't on till 8 p.m. or so. The show doesn't get going for another 8 hours. Can you send someone down to just do an hour of something? And I have an amplifier that's in that video that we'll all see.
You stand on, don't you?
You stand on. I stand on, and it's this big. So I get my card and I head down to the river stage, and I get there in the heat of the day, and there's 5,000 people. It doesn't look that crowded, but I turn on my amp. I say, move back, give me a little room. And I did like an hour. I did both stand-up and I did my physical stuff. And after I'm all done, a phone call came in, and the woman who's one of the main producers from, I forget, BMG, one of the big music companies for Aussie, calls up and says, we want Lee to open for John Farnham tomorrow night at the second show. We want him on stage to open. Wow. And so I go back down to the river stage, and I meet this producer whose name is Nolene, Blizzard, and she says, "Look, you're going to get to do 25 minutes after the radio guys from Brisbane's big K105 or whatever it was."
Yeah, B105. Yep.
B105. The
Yep.
two guys. It was like these two guys, and then they put me on. And before I went out with all and this was with the spotlights, and it was 20,000 people on the second night. And it was the highlight of my time at Expo was opening for John Farnham. I was there early enough that it was still full, but I was standing backstage and I kept noticing the butt of in the darkness, the butt of a cigarette. It lit up, and then I was like, who is smoking backstage? And I get a little closer. I'm about to go on in 5 minutes, and it's John Farnham. Smoking like a chimney, and he turns to me and he goes, "Oh, I thought you were Marty Coffee," and comes together so nicely in this video with Roger at the end. So thank you again, and thank you to everybody who's still a fan of Expo. I cherish those memories. It's
many thousands of people who are still fans.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for the chat. So we'll now watch our 30-minute performance by Lee Ross, and hopefully we'll have a chat with you again soon. Thanks, Lee.
Thanks, Jason. Take care.